This
This
conference will now be recorded.
I heartily thank Teacher Academy very much for inviting me once again for another interactive session of ours, like always that we have on every also all of us benefited a lot, rather quite a lot, from the session of Dr. Bhavna, and we pieces of information that she shared with very again once again today we are also going to have another fruitful session regarding the common mistakes that we people always tend to make during the OET examinations. So as all of you know that Teacher Academy is a platform by medical professionals for OET examination, and we strive hard we strive hard to make sure that no stone is left unturned when it comes to you qualifying the OET examination. So it is from your contributions itself that we come to a conclusion and we come to know that what we should avail you with. What are those aspects that come as an hindrance in the path of OET examination on your way towards success, which hinder you to pass the OET examination. So this session, we had long thought of taking this session with all of you. So today we will discuss the common mistakes that we always make while taking the OET examination and which can be avoided to make sure that we pass OET examination in flying colors. So let us begin. First of all, I want to start with a very minor and very basic fundamental thing, that what is a sentence. Now, you know, whenever we write an OET letter, what do we actually do? We construct sentences. It is only our sentences which fetch us marks. If we are using proper grammar in our sentences, if we are joining our pieces of information together with connectors properly, only then we would be able to achieve good marks. It is the verbs, adverbs, adjectives, tenses, connectors, and the active and the passive voice, and so many things that determine whether we will pass the OET examination or not. So I want to start with a very fundamental thing, that what is a sentence? A sentence is a collection of a subject, verb, and an object. For example, if you don't have a subject, a verb, of or an object is missing from your sentence, then what do we are left with? We are left with a piece of a sentence. It's not a complete sentence. It's a fragment. And you will never be able to pass OET examination by writing fragments. So what do we have to do is that we have to make proper sentences. And a proper sentence comprises of an object, a subject, and a verb. So it is very important that we are able to construct proper sentences. And while constructing sentences, we must know as to what is required in an order to make or construct a sentence. So in order to construct a sentence, what you require is a subject, an object, and a verb. An example is in front of your screens. If you're not able to read the text on your screens, you can maximize or zoom the screen size on your phones or on your laptops. So the first example that we have here is that Dr. Vuzong was held up in the traffic, so he called up the hospital staff to reorganize his day. Dr. Vuzong was held up in the traffic, so he called up the hospital staff to reorganize his day. Now here, the subject is Dr. Vuzong. The verb is reorganize, and the object is his day. All the information included in the commas is extra or excess information. So this is a complete sentence. Dr. Vuzang was held up in the traffic, So he called up the hospital staff to organize his day. Another. Now, in this sentence, were you able to see the subject, a verb, and an object? Yes. Now let us come to another sentence. Temperature was very high at 42 degrees Celsius. Now, do you think that this sentence is complete, or is it a fragment? Is it a complete sentence, or it is a fragment? So this is a fragment. Temperature was very high at 42 degrees centigrade. Now, whose temperature? What temperature? So the correct version should be somewhat like this. I'm writing in front of you the correct sentence. It should be somewhat like this. Or you can use his or the patient's temperature. So this is the complete sentence, and this was the incomplete sentence. The sentence that we earlier had, temperature was very high at 42 degrees centigrade, was an incomplete sentence. The complete sentence should be his or the patient's temperature was very high at 42 degrees centigrade. Now, what do you think about this sentence? This sentence is complete sentence. Another information is that sometimes we use it to refer back to a particular subject. Sometimes we use it to refer back to a subject about whom we have spoken earlier. So what should we do? We should be very careful by making the use of it. For example, we have an example over here. The thief, being chased by the police, jumped over a high fence. It was an astonishing sight. Now, what was the astonishing sight? The police chasing the thief, or the thief jumping the high fence? So here it is not clear. We are not clear that what is this it referring to. So is this it about the police chasing the thief, or the thief jumping up over the very high fence? So it is not clear. So you should be very clear regarding making use of it. Now the next thing is, let us come to adjectives and adverbs. Adjectives and adverbs. So adverbs describe verbs. For example, fast, how much, or to how much degree, to what degree. So let us understand adverbs now. Adverbs always end by ly at the end. So if you are writing an OET letter and you are using an adverb, adverbs qualify verbs. Make sure you are using ly at the end. For example, the patient is recovering slowly. The patient is recovering slowly. Another example is, the doctor carefully explained the surgical procedure. The doctor carefully explained the surgical procedure. Now, adjectives, what do adjectives do? Adjectives describe a noun. Now, there is one thing I want to tell you, the pronunciation of adjectives. It's not adjective. It's not adjective. It's adjective. Adjective. So you should correctly pronounce this word. It's not adjective. It's adjective. The elderly patient is recovering slowly. Another example is, the American doctor carefully explained the surgical procedure. Now, the American here is adjective and carefully is adverb. So I want to tell you once again, the elderly is adjective and slowly is adverb. Again, American here is adjective, and carefully is adverb. Now let us come to the use of articles. A, an, or the, or nothing at all. So earlier also I have taken a detailed session on articles. If you want a depth in knowledge of articles, you can browse through that video of mine on our YouTube page with the same name, Teach You Academy. It would be very beneficial for all of you. Here we are taking a quick glance at what mistakes do we commit during OET letter writing. So one of the mistakes that we commit is regarding the usage of articles. So either you use a, an, or the, or nothing at all. So let us see. In English, most objects require an article in front of them, but not always. Articles are not used before medical conditions or diseases. Please remember, articles are not used before medical conditions or diseases. I am repeating once again. Please do not use articles before medical conditions and diseases. Now, a and n are indefinite articles. We do not know. For example, a piece of paper. Now, we are not definite about which piece of paper. But if we say the piece of paper, this means a specific piece of paper is being spoken about. The only difference is that N is used with the next letter A, E, I, O, U. For example, X-ray. Now this X is not amongst A, E, I, O, U, but the pronunciation is A. X-ray, A. And A is there. A, E, I, O, U. So we will say an X-ray because the phonetic of X-ray is EX, X-ray, EX. So it depends upon the phonetics. For more information, you can visit our video on exclusively on articles on our YouTube page where the same name, Teach You Academy. The another example is if you go to a university, make sure you visit the library. Now, U was amongst A, E, I, O, U, but we haven't used and with it because of the phonetic. U is not in A, E, I, O, U. U is not there, the phonetic. It starts with U, university, as you can see on your screens. So if you're confused, you don't worry about your confusions. Go and watch that video. Now, let us see these articles. The patient had an appendectomy in 2006. The operation was a success. The patient was walking on the third day after the hip replacement. Here we have used articles. Here we have used articles, but before the name of medical conditions and diseases, articles are not used. Kindly tie this knot in your brains. Now let us come to apostrophes. Apostrophes are very important whenever it comes to OET writing because an apostrophe and apostrophe S is clearly shown when you write something. So let us pay our concern toward apostrophes. We have also earlier discussed this earlier also. Let us discuss it once again. Apostrophes are little marks like a comma, but they are written above the line which have three uses. The first use of apostrophe is to show that a letter has been left out. I've done it instead of I have done it. To compress a word. For compression, apostrophes are used. The use number two is possessiveness, belongingness. That something belongs to somebody. For example, let us come to plural, singular possessive. Please make sure in possessiveness we have singular possessive and plural possessive. So singular possessive is the nurse's mask was a blue color. So here the nurse is the singular nurse. So we have put apostrophe S. But whenever we have plural, for example, there are many nurses, what we will do is that we will put only an apostrophe and not S. Okay, I hope this is clear to all of you. Whenever there is a singular subject, place apostrophe S. But whenever there is a plural subject, place only an apostrophe. As you can see on your screens over here. Please take a glance thoroughly. Okay, so now do you know want to know more about apostrophes? Here is an example. Suppose your patient's name is David. Fine. Suppose your patient's name is David. So you can write Mr. David's vital signs had changed for the worse. David is singular subject and apostrophe S. But what if your patient name is Jones ending in S? What we do here is that we will write Mrs. Jones only apostrophe. Writing apostrophe S is also fine. Please make sure everybody, this is also fine. This is also correct. And this is also correct. Both are correct. Both are correct. But when there is a plural subject, only apostrophe. In case of a plural subject, only apostrophe, nothing else. But in singular subject, you can write apostrophe S, apostrophe also for the names of the subjects ending in S. So Mrs. Jones' vital signs, this is also correct. But since a few decades, according to English convention, we have started adopting the usage of only apostrophe for the names ending in S. But mind one thing, that for the names ending in S, if you write apostrophe S also, that is also correct. But we prefer writing only apostrophe. Only apostrophe. Let us come to the fifth thing that you people make mistakes in writing, the joining words. The joining words. Now, joining words are, however, yet, and, but, consequently, therefore, furthermore, in addition, moreover. So, the usages of these words may overlap sometimes. For example, in addition to, moreover, and furthermore, they have almost the same meaning. So today we will discuss as to what differences actually lie within amongst themselves also, and what are the mistakes that we commit during OET examination whenever these joining words are used. So let us see. First of all, let us look at consequently and therefore. Both have almost the same meaning, and they are used when something has happened or something is true because of something preceding it. If something is true because of something preceding the sentence, then we make use of consequently and therefore. The example is in front of you. James read the company website and articles about the company before his interview. He was able to ask very good questions during his interview. So this is your sentence. Please take a look at it at your screens. Kindly make sure your mics are switched off for a better communication throughout this session. So consequently and therefore are used when something is happened and something is true because of something preceding it. For example, this is the sentence in front of all of you. James read the company website and articles about the company before his interview. He was able to ask very good questions during his interview. Now, the modified version is James read the company website and articles about the company before his interview. Semicolon, therefore, comma. He was able to ask very good questions during his interview. So, here we have made use of semicolons and comma. If you confuse in this, you can browse through our previous videos and sessions on our YouTube channel with the same name, Teacher Academy, for a very depth in knowledge of all these things. So here we use therefore. Another example, let us look at furthermore, in addition, and moreover. So they are similar to the word and are in relationship with the two parts of the sentences. For example, Camilla checked the grammar in her college application essay twice. Camilla checked the grammar in her college application essay twice. She asked her neighbor to check the grammar one more time. Now the modified version is Camilla checked the grammar in her college application essay twice. In addition, she asked her neighbor to check the grammar one more time. Now pay your attention towards the punctuation marks here. We have made use of semicolons, comma, and full stops properly wherever they are required. Now let us look to our next joining word, which is however. So however is also used just like but for longer sentences. For example, Michael's car didn't start this morning. He got a jump start from his neighbor and was able to make it to his appointment on time. So the modified version is Michael's car didn't start this morning. However, he got a jump start from his neighbor and was able to make it to his appointment on time. Now let us come to our next joining word, which is indeed and in fact. They are also similar to the word and are closer relationship to the first part of the sentence. Let us look at an example here. Peter seems to be a workaholic. He spent the holiday in his office finishing the report. So the modified version is Peter seems to be a workaholic. In fact, he spent the holiday in his office finishing the report. So did you see how these joining words are precisely used over here? Now let us revise our session once again. Today we discussed 5 common mistakes that you make in OET examination. The first one was regarding sentence, the structure of the sentence. Your sentence should be complete. That is, it must comprise of a subject, a verb, and an object. For example, Dr. Wuzang was held up in the traffic, so he called up the hospital staff. Now we had another sentence, temperature was very high at 42 degrees Celsius. This was an incomplete sentence. The complete sentence was the or his or the patient's temperature was very high at 42 degrees Celsius. The next mistake that we always make was regarding adverbs and adjectives. So adverb should end in ly. For example, the elderly patient is recovering slowly. The third mistake was regarding the usage of articles like a, an, and the. So I told you that please do not use an article before medical conditions and diseases. The fourth confusion was regarding apostrophes. That is where you always tend to make mistakes. So whenever using apostrophes, you should always keep in mind that whether your subject is a plural subject or a singular subject, and then only accordingly you place your apostrophe. The fifth mistake that we make is regarding the joining words, that is however, yet, and, but, consequently, therefore, furthermore, in addition, moreover. So I gave you a few examples, and in the last I want to tell you that these are the connectors that you should avoid in OET examination. These connectors are moreover, furthermore, meanwhile, nevertheless, and so. So please avoid using these connectors. And if you want a detailed knowledge regarding the usage of connectors, you can go to our YouTube channel with the name Teach You Academy, and you can browse throughout the videos taken exclusively over articles, active passive voices, and connectors. So this was all about the common mistakes that we commit during OET examinations. In the next session, we will continue this session with some more mistakes that we make in OET examination. And I hope that by using the tips and tricks told at Teach You Academy by us, you would be able to pass your OET examination in flying colors. So that was all for today. Thank you very much. Thank you, Teach You Academy. I take a leave now. Thank you.
Thank you, Manoj sir. And this was another awesome lecture from Manoj sir. And he made this thing so simple, the grammar and the connecting words. And guys, please pay attention on all these. And if you need a specific lectures on this, which was already covered by Manoj sir and Dr. Bhavna, you can just watch all the videos on our YouTube channel, which is by the name Teach You Academy. And if you guys want to book the session, the writing session or the speaking session, you can just visit to our website by the name www.teacheracademy.com, and you can just visit our website and book your session there. And if you guys have any questions, any queries, just you can mail us on our Gmail, which is in the name of teacheracademy@gmail.com, and you can join our WhatsApp and Telegram group as well, and you can just mail us. We are happy to answer your queries. And thank you guys for joining us today. Hope everyone gets something good from this session, and all the best everyone. Thank you.